Hello, friends. Happy Sunday. That's not something I say often. Welcome to a somewhat spontaneous What's Sold Live. If you're new here, my name is Veronika. I'm a part-time reseller. We have a thunderstorm rolling in, so I hope this is not going to get shut down, before I can even get to my sales, but we'll see. It's pretty hot around here and pretty sticky and just thunderstormy apparently, which I hope there will be some rain coming down, but I'm just staying in here. Hello, little Debbie. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, let's see it. Let's see what's sold indeed. It's gotten a little bit better than the previous time frame that I covered in a recent video. Also, I'm so sorry for my AC being loud. Again, it's hot outside, so I need to stay cool in here. And that's how I roll. I don't know about you all, but it is Sunday. It is noon where I am and may still be morning where you are. I have my heated up coffee, so we're going to keep calm and carry on. I also have a cold beverage because, it's freaking July. I'm also a little tired. I wanted to film this What's Sold video because I have like a few more hours until my kid gets home. And these days with him being home from school, that's the only time I have to do these things. And then I was like, I really don't feel like sitting down and filming and then editing. And it's just a drag sometimes. So I was like, all right, let's just do live. And go over my sales. I used to do this a lot with or just for my members, and then would edit the video later or edit the live later and post it. So we did do that for a while, but yeah, today we're just gonna pick up where I left off in the video that I posted, I think 2 days ago. It's doing horribly, so if you want to check it out and maybe let it play in the background after this live, that would be so fantastic of you, and I would appreciate you so much. But anyway, doesn't matter. YouTube is thankfully not my main income, so there is that. Debbie has been listing and selling. Good for you. Yeah, you guys, if you want to share and brag and put your best sales of the last few weeks in the chat, or if you're watching this later in the comments, go off. Let's celebrate each other. My sales have been mediocre, as mentioned, but yeah. Hello, Melissa. Happy Sunday to you. Yeah, we're gonna get started because I did promise you guys a what sold, so that's what we're gonna do. Let's share my venue. Sorry, my Chrome just updated and is giving me a bunch of notifications about things I already know. So, whoa, where did I go? Hello. Let's switcheroo this around. How about we do this? Is this good? Can you guys see okay? If not, zoom in or something. All right, so we're going to talk about sales for the second half of June. That's where I left off on my most recent What Sold video. And yeah, if you're into clothing reselling, or if you're not, if you just want to have some background noise and hang out and chat while you're doing all your reseller or other Sunday things, just hang out, stay a while. I just saw right before I went going live, I saw that Georgie is also live being productive. I did not see that earlier when I scheduled this one, so we're competing now, but I could never compete with Georgie. He's amazing. Somebody wants to drop his link so you guys can check his channel out later. Thanks, Patrick. So sweet of you. It's not a slide, it's a thumbnail. You know it makes me angry when you say that. But anyway, yeah, if anyone wants to drop Georgie's link for later, check him out. All right, let's get started. Let's actually talk about sales. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to talk about sales. So last we left off with some shoes, and we're gonna jump right back into some shoes. Hashtag shoes, SHOOZ is how we spell that on this channel. So first sale of this 2-week period, June 16th through the 30th. I put 31st on my slide, didn't I? On my thumbnail. See, Patrick, you messed me up. June only had 30 days, so. All right, well, thank you all for not calling me out on it. I'll fix it. I'll fix it in post, maybe. if I feel like it. So anyway, June 16th through the 30th, we're gonna start off with some Olukai shoes that actually sold for full price after being relisted what felt like a million times because I've had them for over 2 years, as you can see up here on my Vendu. But they ended up selling for $40 on Poshmark, which was very exciting considering that I did have them for well over 2 years, almost 2.5 years. So that's about the time when I get so tired of things that I'm like, you need to go to ThreadUp or somewhere else, or I need to drop the price so much that somebody will buy them, like a pity buy, which almost never happens either. But I did sell these Olukais for $40. They were in really good condition. I did get them at the bins. They were in a size 8. Cost me $1.20 at the time at the bins. Poshmark marketplace fees are 20% unless you sell something for $15 or less, then it's like a fixed $2.95 fee. So you kind of don't want to do that. But yeah, my profit on these was $30.80, which was, not bad. I was happy about it. Also, if you're seeing these detected sales here in my Vendu, it's because I haven't put in all the information, but I did make a few sales yesterday and today. Woohoo! But one thing at a time. This pair of shoes, my God. First of all, I am so happy that I've been selling at least a few pairs of shoes because I'm so tired of looking at them. I'm tired of picking them up. I don't want to clean them. I don't want to deal with shoes anymore. Some people love selling shoes, and I don't dislike it conceptually. It's just I've been so tired of seeing them for some reason. So any pair that sells makes me happy. Now these I've had for way longer than a year. So it says here they were listed in 2024, which is true, but man, these I picked up very, very early on in my reselling career. I picked these up when I was still living in Virginia. So like 2021, probably. I had them listed for a while. They didn't sell. I sent them to ThreadUp. I think I may have sent them to the Real and they didn't want them. They sent them back. I sent them to ThreadUp. They had them listed. They didn't sell. And I did request them back because at the time, I think you didn't have to pay for them or for stuff to get sent back. I don't know. I did get them back is the point. And then they sat in my house for a while without being listed. And I thought they were, but they were not. Or I think at some point I thought I didn't have them anymore. I don't know. Whenever I did like an inventory overhaul last year, at some point in April, apparently, I found these and I was like, these are not listed. So I listed them then after having them had in my possession for, at that time, 3+ years. And I don't ask me why I've never, donated them back to the thrift. The brand is Labadia Firenze. So they're like Italian, embroidered heels. They're very pretty. I mean, and they're like real leather and such. The sole anyway. But yeah, they finally sold on eBay for $30, which is not bad, all things considered. I don't know if they actually cost me $2 when I picked them up. I just put that in because I was like, I have no idea how much I paid for them because it was 5,000 years ago. So I make a profit of give or take $22.64, 65 cents. Sorry, can't read. And they're finally out of my house. And yeah, that's that. Probably the one of the items that I've had the longest in my possession at this point. All right, thanks for dropping Georgie's channel link, Patrick Murphy. If you guys want to head over there after this live, yeah, check them out. Subscribe. Let me check in here real quick. Sales haven't been amazing. Excited purchase one offer. Okay, all right. A relic from your mom's dresser. That's fun. See, I love those sales, like those really random things that somebody is specifically looking for and can't get because it's discontinued. I love making sales like that. Hey, Patrick, shut it. I did set this live to 18 plus so I could curse a little if needed. To 18, did I say 18 plus or did I say 18 live? Oh my God, I can't talk. I normally don't do this during the day, and this is why, because my brain's not working. Um, I'm also just exhausted and tired. I went to up to DC yesterday and spent a significant time walking around in the heat, which is something I also usually avoid. So I'm a little out of it today, but here we are. This one I didn't have super duper long. It's an Old Navy new with tags plus size athletic dress, tennis dress, whatever you want to call it. Had this for about half a year. I can actually click on some things so you can actually see them. I had these cutouts on the side, which is not exactly my jam. It was white and had like a few like very light sort of like shelf wear. I don't even know if you can see it. I think I may have cleaned it off too. Yeah, like things like that, which that's going to come out in the wash. You know what I mean? I did pick this up from a regular thrift store. It was probably marked down, and I averaged out my cost of goods, which was $4.60. This one sold on Poshmark for $20, and I make a profit of $11.40. It's plus size, which always helps with Old Navy and in general, and I really like picking up Old Navy active wear, especially in plus sizes, especially new with tags. It does okay for me. It doesn't make me rich, but it does all right. And it's a constant seller. You know, it's yeah, usually my Old Navy will sell because people like it. People know it's affordable. And if their size or like a color combination is sold out, they will look on Poshmark and eBay, etc., to maybe purchase it. So there's that. Hello, Chris Nutter. Welcome in. The next item I sold, we're going straight back into it. All business today. No, but you guys chat amongst yourselves. It is getting really gloomy outside also, so there's that. Next item I sold was free to me. It is a 9 West new with tag plus size blazer that I did take to consignment, but she didn't want it, which is fine. This one was free to me because I picked it up at this local church clothing giveaway. I talked about this a while ago in a video. Basically, I saw this posted one morning, and I had my kid home with me, so normally I don't do anything with him. No, that's not true. But it's like, you know, like errand type things I try to avoid doing with him because he just does not. He can't hang. But yeah, this one I was like, okay, let's just go and see if they have some clothing for you, because you know you're growing an inch a minute, and let's just see what they have. And so we did that, filled a bag, and I normally don't source these things because I feel weird about sourcing like, you know, like charity giveaway thingies, where you're just getting stuff for free. It feels icky to me. I know a lot of resellers are like, no, give me all the free stuff, and I'm like, yeah, but it's like that's not the purpose of this. However, I changed my mind because they were so like not pushy, but they kept handing me like big garbage bags, and they were like, please take more, take it all. We have so much stuff. We have so many clothing items. They get donations. They get stuff that's left over from a local consignment sale that comes through twice a year. So they had so much clothing that I was like, okay, my kid is hanging out, playing with his tablet, whatever. He's happy. He's talking to the ladies that are running the place, asking questions about it. It was like around Easter, and he's asking questions about the cross and whatnot. And I'm like, all right, you're good. You're fine over there. I'm going to source a little bit, and I picked this up. So free to me, new with tag 9 West plus size XXL blazer, sold on eBay for $18. I think I may have been running a sale at the time, or it was just a really low offer, but it's fine. Like, it's literally free to me, so who cares? So I make a profit of $14.43 on this, and I had it I listed it a little over a month ago. I think I picked these up like April-ish. I don't remember when Easter was. Took it to consignment. She didn't want it, and then I listed it after I came back. This next item came from my own closet. I had bought it on Poshmark at some point. It's just the Ross and Ali, which is like what, JC Penney or something like that. Ooh, this looks very overexposed. It was a little more saturated. But anyway, just a maxi dress that I wore a bunch of times and then decided I will not wear it anymore. So I did list this early last year, apparently, and it's been listed since. It must have been me clearing out my closet, that sort of thing. I usually do that about twice a year because I do thrift a lot. So that's how I accumulate clothing that I then no longer wear. But at least it was cheap. I did put in cost of goods as 0 because, yes, I did pay for it when I bought it on Poshmark, but then I also wore it a bunch of times and it was in my closet. So that's just like, all right, that was mine. I will just say it didn't cost me anything. It sold on eBay for 16 bucks, and I make a profit of $12.68, which was probably around, give or take, what I paid on Poshmark. But with Poshmark shipping and all that stuff, it's always usually a little bit higher, but I probably bundled it with something else that I still have. I don't remember, honestly. This was years ago. And then another item that I think sold for less than I wanted to, but was happy to see go because I also had it over a year, was this Tommy Hilfiger vintage, very vintage actually. It had a Union tag and everything. Check it out over here. Vintage little sports jacket blazer thing. I don't know. I never know what to call like men's jackets. I'm bad with selling men's clothing, clearly. So it only sold for $20 on eBay. My cost of goods on this one was $1.50 from the bins. That's a pretty typical cost of goods for me, and I make a profit of $14.80. So very like, you know, low average sales for me so far, but there are a few good ones in there that are coming up. So this 2-week period was not awful overall. These two Old Navy Active long line like bralette tops also came from my own closet. A couple of years ago, I bought these new from Old Navy, probably on some sale, and kind of lived in them for a while. I think one of them actually did then purchase on like Poshmark or eBay or wherever, because they didn't have the color anymore on the website, and I kind of just hung out in them all summer. And I no longer really wear them. So I listed them as a bundle. They sold on Poshmark for 18. I did say I had nothing into them because, again, closet, clean out my own closet. And I did wear them a lot. So yeah, I make $14.40 in profit. So making back a little bit of what I spent on them years ago, back in like, I don't know, 2022, 2023 maybe. So yeah. Then I made a really good sale on a Polo Ralph Lauren blazer jacket with the crest. Whenever I find these Ralph Lauren or Polo or whatever, any Ralph Lauren line really, blazers with the crest on them, I don't know what it is about them, but people like the style. I will usually pick it up if it's not like overpriced or anything. This one was also free. Yes, it came also from this church clothing giveaway, so that was a no-brainer. I picked this up, listed it. I don't think it was anything crazy fabric-wise. Yeah, it was just a cotton blend. It wasn't even wool or anything. It was pretty lightweight. It sold on eBay for $84.99, which must have been an offer I sent out because I think I had it listed for like around 100. And yeah, I only had it for 2 months. And I make a profit of $72.12 on this one. So Ralph Lauren, Polo Ralph Lauren, Lauren Ralph Lauren, if it has the crest on the chest and like, you know, make sure it has all its buttons and such, pick it up. They usually do pretty well for me. I've sold them a bunch of times, and yeah, as long as they're in good shape, they will do well. They don't need to be wool. They don't need to be anything crazy. They have a following. I don't get it, but they do. I would probably put in words like preppy and equestrian and all that stuff. You want to put like crest and monogram and all that good stuff. That usually gets the right people to see your item. The next one was not impressive, but I knew that when I picked it up. I picked up this Nuitag Lane Bryant top from the bins at some point for $1.50. It sold for $9 on Poshmark. Like I mentioned earlier, with Poshmark's fees, if you sell something for $15 or less, they just do a flat $2.95 fee instead of doing the 20%. So selling items for really cheap is really not a good idea on Poshmark. So I make a profit of $4.55. That, I don't know what that buys you these days. Not much. A carton of eggs if you're lucky. So there's that, but it's gone now. I've had it for, over a year easily. So yeah, good riddance. Then I sold a swimwear items. Where are we at date-wise? Oh, we're on the 22nd of June. Okay. Sold a swimwear item, this airy bikini top, triangle bikini top. I picked up 2 of these at the bins not too long ago, about 3 months ago. Cost of goods was $1, sold for 20 on Poshmark. I was very happy with that sale, made 15 bucks. I mean, it's lightweight, it's tiny, it was easy to list. I don't measure swimwear, so that saves me some time. And yeah, quick sale on this top. Yeah, indeed, Patrick Murphy. Ballin' on my $9 sales. Listen, if a $9 sales comes right after $9 sale comes right after a $85 sale, I'm fine with it. It's like, all right, that's fine. That's cool. I don't care. So there's that. All right. Where are we at? Oh, I made a Depop sale. Depop and Macari this 2-week time frame. So I didn't lie about that on my thumbnail. I sold a pair of Madewell shorts. These were the high-rise denim shorts. I mean, that's exactly what they are. These sold on Depop for 22 bucks. On Depop, they don't charge you a selling fee. They charge you a transaction fee, which came out to $1.18 on this one. And then I typically pay for shipping on Depop and just factor it into the price. So my shipping expense was $5.14. That's more than I wanted to pay for this, but okay. And apparently my cost of goods was $4 from the thrift. Again, I average out my cost of goods when I go to the thrift or when I go to the bins or go wherever. So yeah, I thought these would maybe go for a little bit more. But I had them apparently for 2 years. That's not right. That is not right. I think what I did here was I used an old listing as a draft and just plugged in the new item information because I didn't want to purchase additional Vendu items. So I did not have these for 2 years. I don't think that's correct. But either way, I make a profit of $11.68 on these Madewell shorts. Yeah, I don't do well with denim shorts or shorts in general, I have to say, and I rarely ever pick them up anymore. So there's that. And $9.99 pizza at Domino's. Yep, there's that. Well, I only made $4.55. So it will not get me a $9.99 pizza, but it'll get me a side of something somewhere. It'll get my kids some fries at McDonald's probably. All right, Patrick Murphy, Domino's really needs to pay you because you're advertising for them for free, like so much. All right, then I sold an item that I did have for 2+ years. A Free People item, We the Free item, that sold on Macari. It was this very just bland, kind of oversized, probably sweatshirt, sweater, very lightweight, Free People sweater. I don't pick up things like that anymore. The Free People ones, they don't sell. Like Free People, it needs to be either really, really cheap and or really, really cute, like a loud boho dress, that type of thing. Like that I will pick up. But these basic We the Free sweaters, they're really not worth it. This was an extra small. I want to say, when did I pick this up and why did I pay almost $4 for it? I think I picked this up back in New Jersey, actually. Whew, yeah, like right before I moved. Summer of 23. Yeah, that sounds about right. So it was probably dollar day and I averaged out my cost of goods and this was $1. I don't remember. It sold on Macari for $24.60. That was an offer I probably automatically sent through Vendu. After fees, cost of goods, and my shipping expenses, which again I pay for on Macari and Depop, I make a profit of $13.05. So that will get you your $9.99 pizza, Patrick Murphy, with all the toppings. I recently discovered a local pizza place, so that pizza was so freaking good that I'm like, yeah, unless my kid wants pizza from Domino's, we're not gonna do that. I'm gonna order pizza from that new place I discovered because it was so stinking good. So there's that. All right, and then I sold a pair of Levi's jeans. I really don't pick up Levi's a lot. I know a lot of people have good luck with Levi's and swear by it, and it's obviously a really good brand. It's just I can't move it. So these jeans had these like patches all over. They definitely had seen better days in terms of, like staining and such. I did point out all the stains that I could find, but I figured, okay, they're so busy, either you're going to treat them and get them out, or you're just not going to care. So they had a whole bunch of like park ranger type patches. I freaking don't know. They sold for $30 on eBay, and I had $1.40 into them from the bins, so I make $22.92. I did have them since the end of 2023, so happy to see them go, and happy to see them go for $30. I think I had them listed for like 50, and somebody offered me 30, and I'm like, please, yes, take them. Yep. All right, we're on the pizza in the chat. Perfect. You guys talk about pizza. Again, Patrick Murphy is not sponsored by Domino's. Neither am I. But he should be. I shouldn't be, because I literally just talked about a different pizza place. Anyway, I sold another little spaghetti strap top. Are we still in June? Yes, we're still in June. I had a good stretch of sales there for like a weekend or so in June, in late June, so that was good. I sold this little torrid top, full lace, little layering top, I guess, plus size, yeah, 1X in black. That sold for 10 on Poshmark, which is fair for a top like that. I had $1.25 into it from the bins. I make $5.80, which will not buy you that pizza at Domino's, but almost buys you one of their 2-topping carryout pizzas. Almost. Maybe you get a side of like, what is it, the Parmesan bites? I don't know. Next up, we got a sale on a J. Jill piece. I just have a soft spot for J. Jill. This was J. Jill, pure Jill linen, and this like very open knit woven, whatever, login looky top. That one sold on eBay for $30, which honestly I didn't expect for this one, but hey, I'll take it. Sold on $30, probably after being sold for $30, probably after being relisted. I had $1.30 into this one from the bins, and I make $23.73, and I had it for about half a year. So happy with that sale. Thanks for coming through, Miss J. Jill. Okay, Patrick, calm down. Calm down. Yeah, Patrick Murphy puts mayo on his pizza, which I dip my pizza in ranch. Mayo? I love mayo, but on pizza? I don't know. I may have to try it. This may be one of those things you have to try to get. I don't know. Y'all let me know what you put on your pizza, or if anything, or if you dip it in anything. I know some people take offense at the fact that I dip my pizza in ranch, but it's so good. Anyway, we got another Old Navy sale. This top I actually purchased for myself as part of a bundle on Poshmark. When I purchase things on Poshmark, I always like to bundle them because the shipping is so stupid expensive. And so I bundled this with something else. The other piece was the item I really wanted. This, I was like, it's in my size. I'll try it on. It wasn't my size, but it just fit weird on me. Like, it did not look this cute on me. You know what I mean? And no, I'm not that skinny, but also like the proportions were off. Like, it was too short, but then set too far down. It just didn't work. It just didn't work. So I listed it when I cleared up my closet recently, and it sold on eBay for $17. I did put my cost of goods in for this one because I purchased it as part of a bundle. I never wore it. So I had a $15 cost of goods. So I actually, quote unquote, lost money on that. But the way I look at it is I had already purchased it, like, I don't know, half a year ago. It sat in my closet. It was taking up space. And at least this way I got it out, and I had, like $14 come back into my bank account. So yeah, I lost money on it, but like I did not, like in this particular moment, I didn't. You know what I mean? Like, I already paid it. It's gone. I'm just getting part of it back now. All right, then I sold some LuLaRoe, which I don't say very often, and I'm so glad these sold, because when I picked these up, I was like, I don't love LuLaRoe, but these are freaking cool ass leggings. They're rainbow. They have little hearts on them. They have this like paint drip thing going on at the bottom. I thought these were so freaking cool. They're awesome for Pride Month. They're awesome for cosplay, dress up. They're awesome for like teachers, like art teachers especially. I think these are amazing, honestly. So I had them priced quite high for LuLaRoe. I had them priced around $40. Eventually somebody offered me 26 on Depop, and I did take that because I had them for, I don't know why it says this up here. I did not just have them for a month. I had them for longer. I don't know if I took them down and relisted. I don't know what I did there. I have no idea. Maybe they weren't listed and I found them in my inventory. Don't ask me, but I definitely had them for like about a year and a half or so. They sold for 26. Marketplace fee, again, that transaction fee was $1.38. I had $4 into them from a regular thrift store and had to pay for shipping because it's Depop, but I made $16.10, and I'm happy they sold. Still sold during Pride Month. I had a Pride themed sale at the very beginning of the month, and I had one at the very end. So there's that. Stop lossing money, Patrick. That's what you're gonna yell at me? You're gonna tell me to stop lossing money? Pizza money. But yes, I will not. I will stop losing money. Debbie, me too. I mean, I would like to make a little bit of my money back, but yeah, I'm sending stuff to ThreadUp and I'm making pennies on the dollar, but at least I'm getting a little bit back. You know what I mean? Like, it's already in my house. I already spent the money, and the money I spent like 3 years ago, if I make some of it back, that works for me at this point. Like, I'm just tired. No. You're thinking Lululemon, not LuLaRoe. LuLaRoe has always sucked. So you're thinking Lululemon. And Lululemon is not great anymore either, but it'll generally get you more than LuLaRoe. All right, we're almost through, you guys. We have 5 more things. And the last one's pretty good. So not the best sale of the month, but it's pretty decent. Next up, we got this Torrid dress that I also just relisted. It's very cute, very floral, very frilly, feminine, very Torrid, you know. I got this from the bins for $1. So I love that. Had it for 3 months. It sold on Poshmark after being relisted for full asking price of $30. That again does not happen often with me with Torrid, even with the dresses. So yeah, it's also a like full wrap dress, I think. And it sold for 30. I make a profit of 23, and that's the kind of Torrid sale I would like to see more often, but usually don't. So there's that. Lululemon is not LuLaRoe. No, it's literally 2 different words, Patrick. Like they only share 2 letters in common at the beginning. And also Lululemon is 1 word. Anyway, we'll talk about it later. Then I sold a bundle, lo and behold. So I had to do like some creative input on Vendu just to make sure that the fees show up correctly, etc. Whenever I sell a bundle on Poshmark, I just have to allocate a certain sales price to each item. So I sold a bundle of these 2 guys here, the Champion jacket and the Under Armour new with tag quarter zip. They sent me a lowball offer, but I accepted it. So I put in, I think, 14 for this one and maybe 20 for the other. I think it sold for 30 something. I forgot. I'll say I sold this for 14. I had $1.44 into the Under Armour from the bins at one point 3 months ago, and I make a profit of $9.76 on this one. So I did split the marketplace fees. Wow, down based on what I say I sold them for. This one, the Champion, I put 25 on it. So yeah, they offered me 39 for both of them, and yeah, that's okay. I mean, this one I've had a little bit longer than I thought I would. This Champion jacket, I thought based on this style it would sell faster, but it didn't. So I was glad that these 2 sold together. I love making a good bundle sale. I had $1.25 into this one and make a profit of $18.75. So whatever that combined total is what I made on that bundle. I don't know. And then 2 more sales. One on a pair of, hey Patrick, check it out. You're not the only one with worn shoe listings. Although I think these are in better shape than the ones you listed. They have a little bit of wear. Like, this is not dirt. It's just from, being cleaned thoroughly by me. It's like the leather coating came off a little bit. I don't know. Anyway, these are some also Olukai. Double strap little flip flop sandals. They sold on eBay for 16. I think that was my full asking based on condition and such. After relisting, I've had them for more than a year, but they also sat in my inventory and were not listed. And when I found out that they weren't listed, I decided, okay, let's just list them. I have a similar pair listed too. Same thing with them. I had $1.40 into these from the bins and make a profit of $11.16. So that will get you your pizza at Domino's this week. And then I ended the month with a pretty good full price sale from the bins on this very beautiful open front kimono duster from an Anthropology brand, or a brand that's sold at Anthropology. Conditions apply. Never heard of this one before. I picked this up because I thought it was really pretty. I didn't even realize it was Anthropology, which also does not make that much of a difference anymore. The problem with this one was one of these, where can you see it here? One of these like embroidered seam thingies, it had kind of ripped open, and I don't remember seeing that at the bin, so I think it may have actually happened in the wash when I cleaned it, but I did stitch it back together. I did point out any like issues and flaws. It also had some embroidery here where like the strings were coming out a little bit, like it didn't unravel or anything, but it wasn't in perfect condition. And in perfect condition, it could have gotten me probably 20-30 bucks more, but it was still very cute, and like you wouldn't really notice it unless you really looked up close. So I listed it for 60. At some point somebody lowballed me and offered me 30 on eBay, and I think I countered with like 45, and they just let that pass. And then like 2 days or so later it sold for full price, and I love when it happens. So $60 sale to close out the month of June. Cost of goods was $1.50. Also, I will say this one sat in my house for a while before I actually listed it because I had to fix it. And then recently, when I more or less stopped sourcing and didn't have anything to list, I was kind of going through stuff that was just sitting around, and like stuff for my kid, like toys and things like that, like all the stuff you usually don't want to deal with. I was like, okay, we're going to deal with it. We're either going to donate or we're going to sell. So this one was in the sell pile, and I fixed it and listed it. And yeah, it was only listed for like 2 weeks. So I did have to pay up for shipping for some reason. Don't know what I did there. I probably just underestimated the weight. That's what happens when you don't calculate shipping. But I still make a profit of $47.23, and that buys my kid 2 to 3 birthday presents, which is coming up. And so I'm happy that I made a good sale like that at the end of the month. Okay. So that's it for the month of June and for this 2-week period. So like I always do, for my second what solds of the month, I go over that 2-week period, and then I also look at the total for the entire month. And if you were one of the few people who watched my previous what sold, you know that the first half of the month was awful. I mean, I made sales and such, but like, it was bad. The second half was much better. Not great, but much better. I sold 22 items instead of 18, which was the previous period. I did list less, which makes sense because, again, I'm not really sourcing. I did source a little bit, and I listed those, some of those, I think, in June, and then some in July. Maybe not. But I listed a few things, and my average sales price did go up significantly. Thank goodness, because a $19 average sales price is really not great. I don't love that. I try to be much closer to like 25, but you also see what I sell and how motivated I am to get certain things out of my house. So yeah, also do not click that Patrick Murphy link that he just dropped in the chat. Do yourself a favor and do not click that link. That should go for all Patrick Murphy links, but it goes for this one in particular. Anyway, so yeah, eBay really came through in the second half of the month. All my like higher price sales, like the Ralph Lauren jacket, the Anthropology thing, they were on eBay. So eBay was much better in terms of sales, like average sales price and such, than Poshmark, which are kind of my two main platforms. Depop did make a significant appearance, which we appreciate, and then Macari came through with like one little sale, so that's fine. She's still there. My total revenue for this 2-week period was $580.59. My profit after, cost of goods and all of that good stuff was $414.23. Definitely helped that I had a few items that I got for free, so that's always great. And then let's look at the entire month. Whew, yeah, that's not great. Oh my God, I hate the discrepancy between revenue and profit. It's so frustrating, but it is what it is. That's the cost of doing business. So total revenue for the month is under $1,000, $923.15. Total profit is $648.21. That's before taxes, and taxes are a whole different story that we're going to talk about in a future video. I have a whole bunch of stuff that I need to film, organize my thoughts around, and put out there on the YouTubes, and taxes are a big part of that. But if you look at this breakdown, at this graph is the word I'm looking for. It's been rough, y'all. It's been really rough in June. I sold one more item that I did in May. I listed significantly less, well, not super significantly, but yeah, that definitely contributes to me not selling as much. And then my sales price also dropped. So yeah, June was not great. It is summer slowdown. That's what people say anyway. Like I've said before, I don't think for clothing resellers summer slowdown is as much of a thing as it is for people who primarily sell like hard goods and other items. Just like Q4 doesn't feel like as much of a thing for us, but I could be wrong. You guys let me know in the chat, in the comments, wherever. But yeah, them's the numbers. And yeah, here we are. So overall, eBay did better this past month, than Poshmark. Depop, actually, I think I had 3 sales on Depop. Did I? 4. Man, okay, 4 sales in a 1 month time frame on Depop is a lot for me. So I'm not mad at that. Macari had 1. So if we're thinking about which platform to kick out, I think it's pretty clear. Oh God, Macari. But Macari just sent me an email saying that right now they're doing a deal where you get 10% off buying, I think, any top, like a, shirt thing. So yeah, if you guys want to check out Macari maybe and do that and maybe buy it from me. My understanding is that Macari is doing that deal and I don't lose money. So hello, official Crystal Clear TV. Thanks for coming in and saying hi to Debbie. I'm here too, but Debbie is clearly the star of the show. We love her. Yeah, so Poshmark and eBay pretty much 50-50 in terms of how many items I sold, but higher priced items on eBay. Poshmark has been so freaking dead for me. It's not fun. And I actually have been shopping on Poshmark, which a lot of times prompts for me to then make sales on Poshmark. Like if I start shopping there, somehow I also end up making sales because I feel like the algorithm likes me more. That has not been the case this time around. So I don't know what's going on. I mean, I know what's going on. Like I'm not listing new things and I've been really slacking on relisting. So it's just the way the cookie crumbles. I'm not super motivated to work on reselling stuff right now. And so I'm not like, oh, woe is me. I'm doing all these things and I'm not seeing results. I'm not doing all the things right now because I'm kind of tired of it. So I'm not doing all the things right now. And it shows in my sales, but we'll see how July is coming along. It is the 13th, so in a couple of days. I don't know when I'll have time to film the What Sold video for the first half of July because we, like I said, have a birthday coming up. My kid has a birthday next weekend, and then we have his party and all of that. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and filming What Sold videos is not going to be my number one priority. I also, have a full-time job and such. So we'll see when that happens. It might be a spontaneous live if I have a little bit of kid-free time too. Crystal has a live show later today. Awesome. Yeah, if you want to drop the link, feel free to for the show or your channel. But yeah, that's it from me. I thought I was gonna get through this faster, but apparently I did make a few sales, so yay. I posted the other day that I'm taking a break from doing Relist and Relax for the summer. I pretty much do this every summer. There's no particular reason behind it other than I don't feel like doing them. Like currently also my kid has been home obviously from school. So I'm just a lot more exhausted from the whole like double duty of being a parent and also working from home at the same time. And then he is with his dad, and that's the only time, like on the weekends, and that's the only time I can do live shows, but it's also really the only time I can do anything for myself. And I don't always want to sacrifice my precious alone time to doing reselling things and being on a screen. I just want to vegetate, or I just want to go like to the bins or just do something else. So not that it needs this much explanation, but if you needed an explanation why I'm not doing Relist and Relax right now for probably the rest of the summer, that's why. And then, yeah, I might pop in and do these spontaneous things if I'm bored or don't feel like filming. So there is that. But other than that, I do have a bunch of video ideas. I have a bunch of videos planned. The one I'm working on currently is an update on my inventory clean out where I packed a box for ThreadUp. That one is mostly filmed. I just need to add a few things because my camera crapped out. So that will come out next whenever I get around to filming the next What Sold video. That's gonna come up. Oh, I'm sorry, Chris. Yeah, it's a lot, you know? And there have been days recently where I'm like, I'm going to freaking, like, not going to sleep, but I'll be in my jammies playing on my phone at like 9:30 until I fall asleep. And I just don't like, I don't want to communicate with anyone. I don't want any input. It's just like I need a sensory freaking break because having your almost 9-year-old neurodivergent child at home with you at all times, who's also very just like clingy and attached and not super independent, it's a lot. And yeah, there are times when I'm just like, I need quiet around me, or just like TV background noise, that sort of thing. And I can't be talky with people. So instead of doing like a shitty live, I'd rather not do a live at all. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's where I'm at with reselling and otherwise. But yeah, this has been good. This has been fun. I'm glad I got this done and got to chat with you guys a little bit. I know Patrick and I were talking earlier that we miss Glamour's lives, her brunches on the weekend, but it's kind of like, I feel like this happens to a lot of us where we're like, no, we just want to take the summer off, or we want to dial back. And some people dial back over the summer because they're out and about doing a lot of things. I'm not one of those people. I don't want to be out and about in the summer. I hate it. But every once in a while I am. Or I'm just spent and don't want to do the things, don't want to do the reselling things, the live things, the YouTube things. So, but it's always nice to pop in somewhat spontaneously and connect and say hi to everyone and share sales. So thank you guys for hanging out with me for almost an hour. I appreciate it. I'm going to enjoy probably another hour and a half or so that I have kid-free, and we'll go dissociate for a little bit. But thank you all for being here. Hit the like button on your way out, if you're watching. Stop, Patrick. But yes, if you're watching this later, leave a comment down below with your best sale. Let us know how things are going for you, all that good stuff. And also, if you want some background noise later, maybe put on my most recent What Sold video so it gets a little bit more views, so I'm not so sad about it. Okay. All right. Well, thank you all for being here for the third time. See you later. Bis dann. Tschüss.